What's going on, guys? Patrick here, bringing you a brand new video. Today we've got another killer video for you guys, full of information. Today we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin halving that is coming up in less than 1 month. We're also going to be looking at the new CME gap that was formed on the Bitcoin chart, as well as tons of other news that went on in the cryptocurrency space. But guys, before we get started with that, as always, if you guys are interested in making money with cryptocurrencies, make sure you check out the first link in the description or the first link in the comments for the cryptocurrency trade alert group. I post every single one of the trades that myself and my team enter in this group, so if you're a complete beginner, if you don't have time to do technical analysis or you don't know how to do technical analysis, you can copy every single one of our trades. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up, and after that, profits are taken automatically for you, so it becomes very, very passive. We have altcoin trades, we have leverage trades, and we have the #1 community in the cryptocurrency space, full of people ready and able to answer any question that you might have 24/7. There's also a free 14-day trial, so there's no excuse to not give this a go. A lot of people lose money in this market. A lot of people just hold and don't make anything. They just hope and wait for the price to go up. It's a 14-day free trial. If you think this is not for you or you don't like what's inside, you can simply cancel and you will avoid getting charged. There's no reason not to enter. I can't wait to see you guys in there, and let's make some money. Now, one of the trades we were recently in, I talked to you guys about this last video. We talked about a potential short opportunity building up. We were able to enter a short. We were able to very quickly after that see this huge Bitcoin sell-off. 3 of our targets, at least at the time of recording this video, maybe 4 by the time you're watching this, but 3 of our targets as of right now have been hit. So it was another very good day. Now, I get a lot of questions before we dive into the video as well. I get a lot of questions, especially when it comes to trading, about using Bybit, about using BitMEX, and how you can trade across the world, no matter where, it's safe and securely. There are 2 VPNs that I really like. Now, there's not a link to any of these. Bybit, there is a link in the description if you guys are interested in getting free bonuses if you do sign up. Now, these ExpressVPN, NordVPN, I've used both. I personally like to use ExpressVPN. That's the one that I use a majority of the time on my computers. I have them on every single one of my computers and my phone as well. So if you guys are interested in that, just go onto their website. If I remember, I'll leave it down below as well for you guys to check out. Now, let's go into some technical analysis. I know we had a long intro, but I wanted to answer a few questions that I get asked all the time for how to use different exchanges in different countries and how you can use it safely, securely. I recommend a VPN no matter where you are. I recommend to use it so that you are secure and you're keeping your cryptos safe. That's the most important part. You're keeping not only your cryptos, but everything relatively safe. Now, what we're looking at in terms of the Bitcoin price, we do have this the pattern that we adjusted from before. Remember, it looked more like this previously. However, now we cleared up that it looks like we have found more support in this range. We have it here, we have it back here, and then obviously recently we came down to as well. Now it looks like we might be actually seeing a break below. Now, depending on how you do the support, it might be different. So we need a little more confirmation, but it's looking like we might be seeing a break below, in which case things would look very bearish and we can expect to see a larger sell-off coming in from there. However, until we get that confirmation, we are not going to jump to conclusions. And I want to highlight for you guys in just a second why exactly we should keep an eye out on the CME gap as well, because obviously we know that those like to get filled. But the 4-hour, we have a very tight EMA ribbon, so that to me, not going to look at it, right? We did break below it here, but since then it's gone tight and we've tried to break above it before. So we're below it right now, which is a bearish trend of the 4-hour, but again, we're waiting to see a little more confirmation there. The 1 hour, very different picture. We actually have a wide EMA gap. We are still, or EMA ribbon, we are still below that. That is an overall bearish trend, so we know that as well. And then fast forward to the daily time frame, where we like to see if we are going to actually break above. We see that we did have this retest of the test of the resistance up here. We had both, not only the resistance line that we have drawn, but the EMA ribbon acting as strong resistance at this level. If we broke above this, that would have been extremely bullish, and we would have been probably heading up to see prices that a lot of people would have enjoyed seeing. However, that was not the case. We rejected off of it, and now we're waiting to see if we find, if we are going to come and retest it and see if we can break above it again, or if we are going to continue lower. So that's kind of what I'm keeping an eye out on the Bitcoin price right now, what exactly I'm keeping an eye out on. And until we get more confirmation, like I said, Personally, I had entered a short, or we entered a short in the group. Well, not here, sorry, this is the daily time frame. So if we zoom into the 4 hour, we had entered a short closer towards this range. We were able to secure profits on the way down. So for us, it's been a green day. Our position is now in pure profit, and there's nothing else we are looking at until we get some more confirmation. So that's what I just wanted to share with you guys. And one thing I am eyeing on the CME chart is this gap form. Now the gap would get filled if we get to roughly $7,270. That's where the gap would get filled. We need to go all the way up there, roughly plus minus, right, for us to get filled. And I think within this week, Bitcoin is going to attempt at least to come up. We can see already the start to, the start of the climb. I think Bitcoin is going to at least attempt to go up and close that CME. I think that's going to be what it's going to try to do. If it's going to close it or not, again, I'm going to need more confirmation before I enter any position. But we know that these gaps do like to get filled more often than not. And we know more often than not as well that they like to get filled faster, right? Usually sometimes they take a little longer, sometimes it can take days, weeks, months, but more often than not, these get filled relatively fast. So if we are going to play the game of if it's going to get filled, the probability says yes, and probability says it's going to get filled relatively fast. We don't just trade off that though. We're waiting to get a little more confirmation, but that's something that I am definitely keeping my eye out on for this week. That, and then if we are going to get a confirmed break anywhere above, if we're going to get a confirmed break above, obviously the daily time frame would be the big one, the EMA ribbon, or if we are going to get rejected and continue lower. All right, guys, so news about the Bitcoin halving coming up. Let's talk about that a little bit. 27 days, 5 hours, 7 minutes, 46 seconds. You're gonna notice a lot of people are gonna start using this and are gonna start having this open more and more, because at first this was months and months and months and years away, depending on when you started looking at the countdown. Now we're down to under a month. With everything going on and everybody being at home, now it's more exciting than ever to have, something to look forward to and waiting to see what exactly Bitcoin's gonna do leading up to this halving. And I wanted to share with you guys a picture that I have over here to give you an idea of where exactly it looks like we are in the overall cycles. You guys know most markets work in cycles. The crypto market is no different. We have noticed macro, right? Big picture, it works in cycles. Small picture, it's a lot harder. No, smaller time frames, micro, it's a lot harder for us to notice these trends, these cycles, and for them to repeat themselves over and over again. But macro, usually we see these cycles repeat over and over again in all different markets. And like I said, crypto included in that. Now there's obviously less of the crypto market moves faster, these cycles are faster, but there's less prior history because it's obviously newer as well. But taking a look at the different halvings that we had before and how price reacted from there. A lot of people were waiting for the bull run explosion before that, before the halving actually happened. We can tell that usually we start to see the more exponential growth after the halving comes in. So that's something to note as well. We are currently over here waiting for the halving, obviously 27 days to actually happen. And then usually after that, we start seeing that parabolic move. So nothing really out of the ordinary going on right now. Nothing necessarily changed. We're still within this range that we usually trade in leading up to the halving. And then after the halving, we see that exponential growth. So it's going to be exciting to see. I think the next few months are going to be very, very big, very, very crucial, because until we get to the halving, anything can happen. And then after the halving, again, short term, anything can happen. But we want to start seeing, the next year, we want to start seeing that exponential growth. Otherwise, this overall trend, these cycles are going to have broken, and we are going to have a failed cycle. And that, again, would be the opposite of what most people are actually banking on. I've seen a lot of people talk about before of how, we had this huge run up. Now, again, there might have been different reasons for different pumps and dumps. We know how that works. We've talked about that before on this channel. But again, we've had these runs every single time before, where we had this move, we were down, we had the move up, and then we traded sideways, we entered a range, and then after the halving, we had that big explosion to the upside as well. So something to keep an eye out on. Again, 27 days, it's getting closer and closer every single day, obviously, but now we're actually at the final countdown, right? So $192 billion in market cap, guys. Bitcoin's down 3.5%. If you're in a short, that's absolutely fantastic news. So I'm very happy at the fact that Bitcoin's down 3.5%. If you were just using 10x leverage, for example, you could have made 35% on the money that you used. I love how this works. It's absolutely insane. Only 4 cryptocurrencies are in the green. We have, the most notable ones, Komodo and Binance Coin. Binance Coin barely in the green. After that, since Bitcoin's down 3.5%, it's dragging everything down with it. We have coins like Bybit, Nervos Network, Blockstack all being the biggest losers, but no surprise there. Bitcoin's down, everything else is down. Now, a little bit of news before we move on to looking at something a little different. $8 trillion asset giant Fidelity is expanding its Bitcoin and crypto trading. So at a time like this where everything's uncertain, we have obviously, a little bit of a sideways market. It's good to see that there are still developments taking place that are going to be helping in the long run. And last but not least, Dow Jones and also the S&P 500 that we like to look at, and how exactly things are shaping up there. So from the last time we talked about, right, I believe we have seen a little bit more of a few green candles coming in, leading us up at least to the Dow Jones right now. We went up to a high of 24,000, so right at 24, rejected off of that. April is still here. It's currently let's make sure what day it is, the 13th of April. There is still room, and I said April could be a very, very interesting month, both for crypto and traditional markets, because everything is still on lockdown, at least majority of places, everything is still on lockdown, and that's going to mean nothing opening up, no real reason for a pump, no real reason for anything to go back to normal, when in reality things are not back to normal. So that's sort of something I'm keeping my eye on. Like I said, 13th of April, still a lot of time, still several days for things to move and us to see what happens. I still think there's room for red. I still do. I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I agree. I think there's a lot of room for red. If it's going to happen, we're going to have to wait and see if that is going to happen. It's less about predicting I say this all the time. It's less about predicting what's going to happen and trying to get, be the one who guessed it right. But it's more about being the one who takes the opportunities, because you can guess it right. If you didn't actually jump in on the opportunity because you were just guessing, it doesn't change anything. You made no money. All you can do is have one bragging right. You can say, oh, I predicted it. Look what I did. You didn't make any money from it. It doesn't really matter to me, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with that thought process. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. Let's see how the rest of the week plays out. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys think of everything going on and where you think Bitcoin is headed in the near future. Like I said, we'll stay updated during this week with everything that's going on. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday for another video.